When a project really catches my eye, something that really stands out to me and really sends a signal that they've got their act together, they've got a big picture going on, one of the things I do is I actually reach out to the team, whether that's through Discord or whether that's through Twitter. That's, doesn't really matter. I reach out to them and I try and set up a moment to actually have a conversation with them. Now, that conversation can be done over text, or the more preferred way is that conversation can be done over some type of a call. Sometimes it's Discord, sometimes it's Google Hangouts. Again, the technology doesn't matter. I'm trying to get a feel for how committed a project is and where a project is going, where a project really wants to take their journey, where the project wants to take their audience, and where the project wants to elevate their community. And earlier this week, I had a conversation, and after I hung up with that conversation, I tweeted immediately, I just hung up with maybe the best conversation with an NFT project I've ever had. And that's the honest truth. I was so blown away by their vision and where they want this project to go that I've had to keep this bottled up inside. And I'm so glad that right now I finally hit that record button and I'm starting to blabber into the mic. Today, we are talking about the Jungle Cats. Let's go. Now, on Wednesday's video, we spent a lot of time chatting about the metaverse. What is the metaverse? What does it do? How do you log into the metaverse? It's this fascinating concept that all of the NFTs that we're accumulating right now actually coexist in one gigantic world. And we can buy an NFT from one project, and we can buy an NFT from another project, and then we could log into a game and those NFTs kind of follow us, or we're a part of it. And the thing about the Jungle Cats that really just made my jaw drop, you guys, is the fact that they have already looked past mint day. When I usually talk to these projects, whether through DM or whatever, or chat, the thing that's pretty apparent to me for most of these projects that are launching today is, that their motivation is, or at least their primary focus or stressor right now is mint day. Do they have all the technology in place? Do they have all the artwork in place? Do they have the community in place? And most of the time, that's just what their primary focus is. I get that. I understand why, because that's a very stressful and important day. It's like a first impression day, and it's an important thing to have locked down. But I was always arguing that the most important thing with a project and the health of a project and the success of a project is really the 7 days and honestly the quarter that happens right after mint day, because that's when people jump in and then dump if they, aren't convinced at what they're seeing. For me, the Jungle Cats blew me away so much because they're literally creating this project for beyond the mint day. That's really what they're trying to do here. Now, before we go on any further, I have to give you my disclaimers. The first thing is this video is sponsored by absolutely no one. I don't do paid promotions on my YouTube channel. I like to talk from the heart, and the moment we get money involved with you paying me to talk about your project, that's not cool. I'm not down for that. So I'm not doing that. So that's the first thing we got to get out of the way. The second thing is that nothing that I say is construed as financial advice, or it should not be construed as financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial professional. I've got no certifications in that realm. I'm just an average Joe off the street, having a conversation with my friends about things that are important to me and that I'm passionate about. You should always do what's best for you and your family or your situation, and do your own research on any project. Don't buy things because I'm buying things. You should always fact check me, dig deeper, and make sure that this is the right decision for you. So now, with that being said, when I was talking to the Jungle Cats, they took me someplace almost immediately. They were like, imagine you log into Star Atlas, right? And you're about to go farm materials with your friends who are in ThugDAO or MonkeyDAO or whatever. Well, guess what? You're in JungleDAO, a DAO that they are establishing almost immediately after lunch. We're going to talk a little bit more about JungleDAO. But what I want you to picture is this. You're in your astronaut outfit or whatever armor you have in the Star Atlas world, and you're running around and you've got your helmet on, but your mane is billowing out, and all the little hairs, all the fine details of the hairs are blowing with the wind. And the cool thing about that too is it's not just a generic lion. Of course, they have all sorts of different designs and patterns with all of these different lions that you have too. And they've got different eye designs and different accessory designs and it's just, when you start to envision being your lion, when you start to envision being your character and how that mane is going to just really stand out in the metaverse, how you'll be able to quickly identify other jungle cats or how other people will be able to quickly identify you. All right. Now I'm getting into it. My NFT is now actually a part of me. It's a symbol of me, and I get to go play this game, and I'm seeing my hilarious pattern mane or regular, like classic OG mane flowing in the wind as I'm farming materials and building a base or whatever in Star Atlas. And then I see myself going to my Solstead with that, and it just becomes so much more than just an NFT or a quick flip project. So now, what I think we should do is we should start breaking down the individual pieces about what's making this project special. We're going to start with the artwork. Let's check it out. So I like to start my research when I'm looking at a project straight with Twitter, because typically, first immediately, there's great samples of the artwork on a organization or a project's Twitter account. The second thing is all the relevant links that I care about are going to be on their Twitter account. Primarily, what I like to see is a fleshed out website, because I'm old, I guess. I don't know. Let's jump over to the Jungle Cats Twitter account, and let's immediately take a look at the artwork. All right, first things first. I'm going to take a look at the main piece of artwork that they have here loaded on the screen. King Crown, cool. Solana chain, cool. Kind of the patterned robe that they got going on there, cool. The fine details. Look, this is what I'm talking about, the fine details. Yeah, I expect to see fine details in the main. I expect to see that. But did you expect to see the fine details on the chin? Wait a minute. If you actually start zooming in and looking really close, this is fur. This is fur. This isn't just some plain, some plain color and some texture that they added to it. No, they actually did fur and fuzz. And now I feel like I could walk up to that little kitty cat and scratch his chin. That's exactly what I feel like when I see this. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. They put these details into it. They took the time to do it right. They didn't rush it. There's so many projects where I could pick apart your artwork, stuff that launched this week, that is just like, it's so sloppy. This is the opposite of that. This artist has spent their time and effort to do it the right way, to make a very clean piece of artwork and a very clean piece of project. It's very, very impressive. But then I get a feel for the project and what their involvement is for the community, what they're excited about for Solana by just looking at the tweets. Now, before I even go past that, I see a Discord link, I see a website link. That's good. This is so much better than just having a Discord link. Again, because people like me hate Discord. I don't want to join your Discord, but I know it's an obligation to doing research. So I do it, but don't be upset when I leave your server almost immediately. So we scroll on down. Boom! First thing, right out of the gate, they have partnered with the Degen Ape Academy, specifically the Mick Degens, and they've created this funny looking lion. The auction is for the Mick Degen cat, and 100% of the proceeds are going to Action Against Hunger. They haven't even minted yet. They haven't even launched yet, and they're already doing charitable work with collaborations with other NFT blue chips on Solana, like the Degen Ape Academy. Okay, that's amazing. This tells me that they're not here to cash grab, right? They've put effort into this amazing art, and now they're going to immediately start giving back to a community. They're going to immediately start giving back to a charity. They're immediately going to put their reputation on the line, and even at a little bit of a risk Degen Apes' reputation, the Mick Degens, because the Mick Degens, the Degen Apes, aren't going to partner with a project that's going to rug, right? That's going to be horrible. And they're especially not going to do it if there's not like a really good reason behind it. Now they've got this charitable reason. So immediately, pin tweet right here on the spot. Tweet's only like 2 or 3 days old at this point. They are running this auction. The details, again, I noticed the chin. I noticed the texture of the nose. I noticed the glare of the eyes. It just, to me, you know, like, it's so cute. It's like a little mouse that he's chewing on right there. I dig it. I dig it. I dig the artwork a lot. I dig the collaboration. I dig the charitable aspect before they've even raised a penny. I think that's really, really cool that they've done that. I scroll down a little bit more, and they're like, hey, we're just going to tease you a little bit. Here's the dragon eyes attribute. Again, notice the fur. Notice the fur. Look at all this. Like, this stuff takes time. This stuff takes a lot of work to do this. Notice the lighting on the edge of the fur. Like, these are fine details that are easy to even the shadows. These details are easy to overlook, but this artist is clearly a very well-trained artist, a very traditional, well-trained artist who has a very creative idea. I like the dragon eyes too. That's freaking sick, right? We scroll down some more. Let's see what else they got. There's those two, the McDegens again. Ah, there's a good teaser. Okay, so now we're mixing up the furs. Now we've got the manes with the zebra, and now I'm picturing this in the Star Atlas world. It's not just a traditional mane. We've got some unique, like, color schemes to these manes, and I think that's really cool. We scroll down to, this is kind of cute, this little fire hat guy. And that's a well-done fire hat, y'all. I mean, like, this is where you have the opportunity to start to get sloppy, is how we introduced attributes and layering into the mix. That's actually really hard to do, and I think they've done a really good and tasteful job with it. The same thing goes with how the hair is draped over the chain right now. That's a really good job that they've done here. Look at the texture on this sweater that they're wearing, or look at the texture on the frills, kind of on the edges of the sweater right there. It's kind of puffy, and you can just see it. You feel like you can feel it, right? Tell me other pieces of artwork that are putting that kind of detail into it. It's extraordinary. Oh, look, they partner with soldiers. Didn't know they were doing this. That's really cool. I mean, we keep scrolling down. There's a chef hat. That's cute. I love it. There's the Audius collaboration that they did for Austin. Awesome. We keep scrolling down. Here's the Lit Jesus collaboration. This is awesome because it's funny, and it's really still well done. Like, I love this, that the attention to detail persists over all of these collaborations. They could have absolutely just said, yeah, we're so excited to partner with you, McDegens and Lit Jesus and Audius or whatever. Let me just slap some stuff together because I've already got these pre-built layers. I could touch it up a little bit, change this one color, and then we're done. But they didn't do that, did they? They actually spent a lot of time building that background. They actually spent a lot of time building that extra beard and mustache detail there and adding the shading and lighting to it. The artwork is phenomenal. The artwork alone makes me want to mint the heck out of this and then hold it. Because I think if that's what you're in it for, is kind of the long-term strategy, if you're in it for the metaverse, then this is going to be a medium to long-term hold. But that's not to say that, you know, they're only going to do the metaverse. They've actually got a lot of other stuff planned. Let's jump over to their website now and take a look at if we can garner some more details out of their website. Now, next thing we want to point out right now, I want to make sure, there's a boring protocol one there. I want to make sure I point this out now. The artwork that's on this website, you see all of that right there. This kind of almost looks like a picture, right? It's not, it's artwork. The artist who did these lions also did this. That, again, that just kind of highlights the level of detail, the level of effort, the level of care and love that's going into the artwork of this project. And, oh, look at that. That guy's kind of cool. This little alien with a brain. That's funny. Okay, so first things first, delivering value to believers. We've got the treehouse. We've got the lion guardians. What is this all about? So the thing to know up front is we're going to cover all of these items, these checklist items that they have on their website, but their primary goal at the end of the day is going to be metaverse integration. And that's going to be something that we're going to dwell on a little bit upcoming. So first of all, delivering value to believers. This is kind of their elevator pitch that they have going on right here, where they're just talking about their core values and the main things that they're going to do. They talk about airdrops, prizes, the social club, collaborative gifts, other value benefits, and that's actually like given more details lower on down in the website. That's what we're going to check out. First thing we're going to talk about is the treehouse. Actually, let me change the color here because that blue is a little hard to see. The first thing that we're going to talk about here is the treehouse. Now, the treehouse is their exclusive social club for Jungle Cats holders. This is probably going to have something to do with great protocol and joining the JungleDAO, something that they actually highlight on right here. The idea here that they're talking about is they're going to do exclusive giveaways, game nights with prizes, tight-knit community where we're going to talk about quality crypto and NFT discussion. That means stop talking about the floor. That's not what we're here for. That's not what this project is all about. We're going to have community events and more exclusive benefits. The Treehouse membership protocol will be announced, so we don't really know that for sure. I'm going to guess it's going to be great, but just, putting it out there. Future metaversal integration of the Jungle Gallery and voting from the JungleDAO on its locations. Okay, JungleDAO sounds really interesting, and let's dwell on that for a little bit. But first, Lion Guardians. Lion Guardians is actually their conservation program that they're going to be doing charitable donations to. They're going to be adopting a real lion family where they're going to get written updates about how their lions are actually doing. So this is another piece of charitable artwork or charitable work that they're doing that I think is going to be fantastic. Okay, the community wallet. So now I have to change back to the blue because the background changed to black. So here we go. The community wallet, verified by Grape, that's where we actually see this is done, is going to be where the community themselves dictates how some or all or specific portions of this project are actually done. It's where instead of this being totally, autocratic, managed by the team itself, they're giving some democracy back to the holders and those who join the DAO via the Great Protocol, which is really easy to set up. This is where the people who are in the DAO can vote on how we should handle donations, who we should partner with in the metaverse, and very importantly, where should we spend our money? 10% of the mint sale and then 10% of collected royalties go into this pool of money called the community wallet. And the DAO, the people, the holders, now have this pool of money. And they can choose what to spend it on. They can choose to buy more Jungle Cats off secondary. They could choose to spend it on marketing efforts. They could choose to kickstart a merchandise campaign. I mean, it's kind of the idea is, if you can dream it, you've got this pool of money, do something that's productive for the organization, for the NFT project, and that's exactly what the community wallet and the DAO are going to set out to do. And I think that's a really, really cool thing that out of the get-go, they've already thought about this. Remember, search back to what I was saying earlier. Nothing here is really talking about Mint Day. All right, let's scroll. Let's scroll up. Where's Mint Day? Where's Mint Day? When are we minting? How much does the mint cost? All of that stuff is on Twitter, but they're not advertising it on their website because that's not what they're in it for. They're not in it to just grab cash and then sit on a big pool of cash. They're in it for a long-term Solana-based ecosystem. They're in it to be on the Solana team. They're in it to integrate with other projects in Solana. We've seen how they're already building artwork to reach out to other blue chip projects in the Solana ecosystem. I mean, I can't stress this enough. Like, this isn't a quick flip project, and this is exactly the culture and the message that they're sending with all of their marketing, with all of their website and development efforts and everything like that. We scroll down further, and then we've got the Jungle Gallery. So let's talk about this. This will allow anyone to filter all Jungle Cats to your favorite traits, combinations. It's basically just going to be an NFT gallery that they designed that makes it easier to interact and explore what's going on with the Jungle Cats. Cool. Now, the tokenomics. Now, again, we haven't really talked about the metaverse a whole lot because these guys know that building a metaverse takes time, and there needs to be some other incentives to join the project and stay and have some fun stuff. Listen to this. After Mint, Jungle Cats will airdrop 3,850 unique lionesses to all of the lion holders. Those who hold a lion and a lioness can breed a cute lion cub for free of cost. Lionesses will be capable of breeding once a month and a cap of 2 breeding seasons. There will be a 1% chance to breed a super rare lion cub, so that speaks to the DGen and me. Each lion, very important, each lion can only breed once. There will be unique lion cub benefits, which will be announced. Oh, okay. So now we have this mechanic of breeding. There's going to be an airdrop. Then there's going to be this breeding mechanic, but there's scarcity involved because there's not as many lionesses as there are lions. Lionesses can only breed during specific times, and the lion can only breed once. Okay. This is going to be interesting to see how those tokenomics, the economics of the lionesses, the lions, and the cubs all come to be. Because there could be a scenario where you don't breed your lion, and now you'll be the last one with a lion that hasn't been bred yet. Now that could actually bring a lot of value to the table, doesn't it, right? Interesting idea that you really got to think about. Still, haven't talked about Metaverse yet. Scroll on down to the roadmap. Okay, of course, we've got the pre-launch where they secure secondary markets and how rare. So this is a big deal because I'm seeing this more and more and more where projects mint and then they just jump in the first secondary that they can possibly get in. And they also don't do a good job minting. They don't collaborate with the right teams to do that. The Jungle Cats, now as of the time of this recording, everything is still kind of up in the air because the NFT space, the Solana ecosystem in general, is so incredibly volatile. But the Jungle Cats are making all of the endeavors possible to mint with Radium. And an interesting thing about that is that Solanart has already basically said anything that mints with Radium is going to be listed on Solanart. So I would expect to see the Jungle Cats on launch day, because of how they're minting and because of the partnerships that they have in place, they're immediately going to be up on Solanart. I think that's actually going to be a really good thing for this project because high-quality projects do end up being on Solanart, and that's just where a lot of foot traffic comes through. Whether you like these marketplaces or not, and like I want to say right now, I've been really impressed with what Magic Eden has done recently. I used it yesterday a good bit with the Cyber Pharmacy launch, and I was really, really impressed with Magic Eden. That was a very good experience for shopping for NFTs. But nonetheless, I still don't have beef with Solanart because as someone who wants to buy or someone who wants to sell, I want to go where the most options are. I want to buy where there's the most listings, and I want to sell where there's the most liquidity. And Solanart seems to be it right now. Again, there are better user experiences out there, I think. Again, I really liked Magic Eden, but nonetheless, I think Solanart is a great symbol for the first one for the Jungle Cats to launch on if they can make sure that all of that comes together, which, you know, I feel pretty positive that with their clout that they've already established, they will. Multi-channel marketing campaign. Think they've got that going. They've been featured and interviewed in Forbes. They're on a podcast, or the team or members of the team were interviewed on a podcast. Of course, they've got their Twitter going, they've got their Discord going, and they have multi-thousand people involved with it. I think they're doing like a 5K mint or just under 6K, but over 5K. They're doing a mint like that. They've got something like 11,000 followers on Twitter and approaching 20,000 members on their Discord channel. Like, their marketing campaign has been very successful. AMAs, I think they've been doing that stuff, which is really cool. Release partnership lines with the Solana ecosystem partners. Literally just showed you that. Oh, there it is right there, 5,585 lines. So this is cool. Adopt a lion family. They've committed to doing that. They're also doing a donation to Amazon Watch, and then the Jungle Launch Gallery. So Midday is kind of immediately grouped in with the donations and building the Jungle Gallery launch. I think the Jungle Gallery is an easy win. You know, they already know what their assets are. They already know what their smart contract is. All they really have to do at that point is build a website that pulls the JPEG off of the IPFS server and loads the metadata and makes it look kind of pretty. I don't think that's going to be a whole lot of work, and that's why they can accomplish it very, very quickly. Could be wrong, but that's just my guess. So I think they're going to blow through roadmap point 2 very, very quickly. Now, what happens after that, again, is what I think is pretty interesting. This is still all kind of focused on season 1, in my opinion. Like, what are we doing while we wait for the metaverse to get built? What are we doing while we wait for, you know, Tower DAO or NeoNexus or Star Atlas to get established and then integrate our lions into those areas? So the Cloud Forest, this is where they're bringing up the lion holders with the lioness drops. We've got the lionesses reserved for the first 300 members. I think that's interesting. 50 lionesses reserved for strategic partnerships. These can't be bred. JungleDAO is going to launch, and the Treehouse opens immediately after that for members only. Very excited about these things because they all, to me, kind of signal like we're giving back then we're focused heavily on community. That's what I see what happens right now at point 3, and I think that's very interesting. Point 4 is tokenomics. I think this is where this is going to be kind of fun, because this is where the breeding begins. This is where the lion cubs with, oh, look at this, with mixed traits. That's kind of an interesting concept too. So you're going to get kind of the best of both worlds, right? Whenever you mix your lion with the lioness. So that's kind of an interesting concept too. This is where the tokenomics begin. This is where it's going to start to really, like, the price action's really going to start to happen then, as some lions haven't been bred, and then people want to keep breeding to try and get that super rare. Lionesses are going to be more scarce than are the lions, so you're probably going to want to hold multiple lions in order to get a better chance of getting a lioness. I think that's really, really interesting. And then lastly, this is where it's kind of like the TBD is what I'm going to call this. This is where, hey, we're going to wait and see where the JungleDAO takes us. We're going to wait for the metaverse to get built, and we're going to continue to keep doing press releases and PR and marketing on the project itself. Now, this isn't to say, like, this is the end of the road and then we're just sitting there waiting on the metaverse. That's not what's happening here, because this project is very long-term minded. And that's, again, why I can't stress enough that I don't really think this project is going to be good if you're just a, quick pump and dumper. If you're just in it to, like, grab something off the floor and flip it real quick. I don't think that's what this project is going to be. I think people who want to be a part of this project or want to be a part of this community see the big picture. They see the metaverse. They see themselves with their flowing mane running through Star Atlas. They see how they're going to join, the jungle. They're going to join the JungleDAO, and they're going to join the treehouse, and that's going to be their community that they want to be a part of. And this lion starts to become a piece of their identity. And I think that, to me, says, it's less like, I'm going to spend this money to get a jungle cat, and then I'm not going to care after that. I'm legitimately committed to the project and the ecosystem and the NFT. I mean, everybody's got a price, right? If somebody comes along and offers me $1 million, then maybe I'll take that. I don't know. But until then, I'm just going to enjoy the community. Just going to enjoy the ride. I'm just going to be making some new friends who are into the same things as me, and talking about how cool it's going to be when we're farming materials with our friends in ThugDAO and MonkeyDAO, because we're all part of the Intergalactic Alliance or Interstellar Alliance or whatever it's called. I don't know if you've heard about this, but this is like a huge, imagine a DAO of DAOs. That's almost the best way I can put it. This is where, like, members of MonkeyDAO, ThugDAO, the Degen Apes DAO, JungleDAO, they all kind of group together and form like some sort of strategic partnership in Star Atlas. That's what the Intergalactic Alliance or I don't know. I gotta look at. Hang on one second. It's the Interstellar Alliance. So none of this stuff is set in stone. Like, don't take my word that I'm saying. I'm just kind of imagining where this could go. That a main big, well-received project that has very long-term ambitions could join something like the Interstellar Alliance, because that's nothing more than a long-term ambition, a long-term goals that we could collaborate with other teams and other factions and other DAOs in the NFT ecosystem and start partnering with that. Then, beyond that, just imagine Star Atlas in general is just going to attract normies out of the blue, right? They're going to come in out of the blue, and it's just like joining a guild in WoW or joining a clan or whatever game you play. You're going to start seeing all of these people in JungleDAO with their cool lions running around. You're like, I want to do that. How do I do that? All of a sudden, these people are like, well, I need to go get a cat. Let me just jump over to FTX. I'll buy one with my credit card real quick, and now I can come back to Star Atlas and I'm part of this community. Then you start telling them, like, oh, well, dude, you need to get Great Protocol verified. Join the treehouse. We'll talk about the airdrops that are coming up. There's more to it than just that. And all of a sudden, like, this to me, when you start thinking about how the metaverse and games like Star Atlas and other stuff like that are going to just attract normies in, especially the younger generations who are growing up in a world with cryptocurrency and NFTs, we're so early. Like, this, that just gets me so jacked, because that's exactly how I feel about how early we are. Oh, and I forgot, there's one more thing I want to point out. Remember this release partnership alliance with Solana ecosystem partners? They've actually already partnered with ThugDAO, and they've created 2,000 unique lions to be airdropped to ThugDAO members. So if you're holding a Thug bird, congrats to you. You've got a pretty good chance of getting a unique lion airdrop to you. There's only 3,333 thugs in existence. So basically, right around 66% of you, or 66% of the birds, will actually be airdropped, assuming that you've gone through the great protocol verification and joined the ThugDAO. Again, making me sad that I sold my thugs, sold them for a great profit, not upset about that, but now I'm missing out on opportunities like this. And this is when I kick myself, and just remember, if you don't need the money right now, what if you just held for one more week? That's what I keep telling myself. All right, so what else is left? Let's talk about the community. So this is where we want to jump over to Discord. Okay, so I'm in the Jungle Cats Discord, and it's an impressive Discord. First of all, the vibe is super positive. I mean, like, everybody here kind of recognizes that they're in a good Discord. Let me just say, hey, everybody. They're in like a very positive environment. They're in it for the long term. You can kind of see there's not a whole lot of talk about price predictions and floor talks and things like that. A lot of emphasis on events and contests that are going on. They've got a lot of events and contests that I think is really cool. They're giving away Soul. For now, they're going to be doing a lot more stuff like that. And then, they've got like a huge community, like a huge international community. This is something that's kind of impressive that you oftentimes take for granted, especially in the Western Hemisphere, where it feels like that's where a lot of the traction in at least NFTs is coming from right now. It's from the Western Hemisphere. Well, they actually have like a really huge Korean following, In fact, some major Korean influencers have already promoted the Jungle Cats. And for you, as someone who is interested in buying and holding and long-term trading, basically you just expanded your market to the other half of the world when you do things like that. So the fact that they actually have like a really big Korean world that they have, or a Korean following that they have here, I think that's a really, really cool thing. And I'm just really excited for what they have going on here. Now, so I would really encourage you, jump in the Discord, jump in here and just take a look at what's going on. Always hit up the sneak peeks, because this is where you get really excited. This is where you, look at this guy. This is where you get to see the different attributes that they've planned. Hop in the Jungle Hunt. This is where they actually have the games and competitions for giveaways. This kind of shows you how they've been super engaged right now. I think that's a really fascinating thing to see, like, hey, we know you're waiting, even though the mint day is coming up. It's like 1 week from today, I think. We know you're waiting, but we're really excited about what's going on. We want to make sure that you're happy to be here now and early. So we're doing all of these projects, and I think that's a really, really cool thing. Check out the FAQs. I think that's always important to get a little bit of information. And then, of course, check out the roadmap. Now, this is pretty neat, because the roadmap here in the Discord, they actually created these cool graphics where you can see where they're going. It's basically the same thing that they have here, where they have these like 5 sections and then each of these bullet points. That's what they did, but they did it in graphic form for Discord. Again, it just kind of shows you the level of effort that they're putting into this. They've been working on this for a long time, you guys. This is not something that they've rushed out. This is not something that they've taken lightly. It's really, really, really impressive. More than anything, what I can say to you is, first of all, yeah, I'm absolutely going to try and mint this. Because I believe 100% that the artwork is fantastic. When I log into my Solstead and I look at all of the things that I have, these are things that I want to bring a smile to my face, and I believe these lions, the level of detail, the level of effort in it, will bring a smile to my face. So that's one of those things where I can immediately look past, short-term price fluctuations, because I'm happy to hold it. It makes me happy. It looks good. But then secondly, when I'm an investor and I'm determining, okay, what is my investment horizon going to look like? Typically, I would like to hold things for a long time. I want to have conviction in the project that I'm holding in. And where that really comes down to, the level of conviction that I have comes down to the team, which here is absolutely astronomically fantastic. The artwork is fantastic. Their organization is fantastic. They've done all of this legwork in advance. They've gotten in touch with all of the right parties to make sure this mint and all of the launches and community participation go smooth. But then I also want to see the community themselves. I don't want to see any sort of toxicity in the Discord. I don't want to see anything like that. I love the fact that they're going to have a verified channel, because almost always when you have a verified channel, that kind of filters out a lot of the noise. The verified channel is usually for the people who are, going to be long-term believers and holders. And that's like, if I'm joining your Discord, and you don't have a verified channel, like, it's going to be really hard to keep my attention. I really only want to be with people who are excited about the project, and don't talk about the floor. Like, it's so stressful and it's so exhausting. Just, not financial advice. Do your own research. Do what's best for you. But don't buy off the floor and then pester everybody about the floor. Just wait. Just wait. It'll take care of itself. It's either going to the moon or it's going to zero. Accept that fact, because that's what NFTs do. Like, that's it. You're either selling at Christie's or it's going to be worthless. But if you just dwell on the floor so much, you're going to damage your health. Like, it's not good. So, I get this impression from this community already, immediately, that nobody here is in it for a quick flip, for a pump and dump. They're in it for they've seen this long-term vision, they've heard about this long-term vision, and they believe in this long-term vision. And it's cool, the fact that they're already doing so much with the airdrops and the breeding and the economics with that. So I can't stress it enough. I really am excited for the Jungle Cats. Really excited for it. I think they have all of the pieces of the puzzle. They really do. Like, there's just, like I say, oftentimes when a project blows me away so much, and I think they could benefit from my help, like, I reach out to them and I ask them, like, hey, maybe I could join your team as a consultant. I can give you some ideas, some strategies, some ways that we can market. And I try and do that. I didn't even do that with them because they don't need my help. Like for real, if I thought they would need my help, this is a project where I would have asked them, can I join your team? But I don't think they need me at all. So there's no affiliation between me and the Jungle Cats. They're not hooking me up. They're not paying me anything to talk about these things. All of this is coming from my heart, and I really believe in what they've got here. I think it's special, and it makes me think about the future. It makes me think about the vision. It makes me think about the metaverse, and I get really, really excited about that. Look, as someone who grew up with video games, now in my mid-30s, I was excited for Star Atlas, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my God, I gotta play that game. It looks so amazing. I didn't do that. But now when I start to envision, I can play as my lion, and then I get some utility and some happiness coming out of my NFTs. Now I get really, really excited about that, and I can't wait. So, yeah. So the Jungle Cats, big on this project. Think they're going places. Think they're amazing. Really, really impressed with the team. Really impressed with the community. Really impressed with how active they are, and really, really impressed with their vision, and that they're not just dwelling on mint, price. That stuff is too stressful. That stuff is, I don't have the cholesterol for that anymore, guys. I don't. So that's what I think. So that's the Jungle Cats. Hope you're excited about them as I am. Minting October 18th, 5,585 lions at 2 SOL a piece. They're going to sell out quick. Going to be watching that secondary action. All right, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next one.